Hello everyone, welcome to chapter 121 on my RLDR Custom Creations YouTube channel. I've got my, probably early 2000s Porter Cable Plunge router here, and it needs a little bit of work today. So, if you want to see what I'm up to with this thing today, all you have to do is stay tuned. Well, when you have built your shop on equipment purchased through Kijiji and Facebook Marketplace, inevitably you're going to be repairing equipment. And my plunge routers have become very, very important in my shop. And one of the reasons they are is, I'm not sure if I've mentioned this a whole lot yet, but I am teaching students again, and I basically teach Tuesday and Wednesday afternoons from 12:30 to 3, and I try to limit my groups in the shop here to 5 students. Equipment-wise, we could handle more than that, but I just don't have enough flat surface workspace for more than about 5 people. And as it turned out now, I have 2 groups of 4. So that worked out really well. But one of my students here is building the little Stratocaster replica that I have patterns, or I made patterns for years ago. And they're very simple 1/4-inch hardboard or MDF patterns. And we use a plunge router to cut all these cavities out. And that's why that router is so important. So my routers also have to be very user-friendly. Here's another one. Yeah, it needs to be sanded yet. It'll look really great when it's all sanded up. But this is just a Telecaster replica that was kind of finished Wednesday. So anyway, very cool work. Have a lot of fun with these students. They're a hoot to work with. It couldn't be better. So that's why my got too much stuff on the table. That's why my plunge routers are so important to me. And so I have 2 students building guitars right now. Okay, 2 students building electric guitars. The plunge router isn't quite as valuable on an acoustic. There's not, you don't have body cavities like for pickups and pickups and switches and all that stuff to install. So I have 2 students. So the other day, yesterday, we were going to run both these routers, but I realized that my guide bushing here, I don't know if you can see that, this guide bushing was too long to work with a 1/4-inch pattern. So what I did is I took it out quickly and chucked it in the metal lathe and took 1/8 of an inch off of it, and now it's perfect. So, but I didn't get to use that one last day. The mainstay of my shop for plunge routing has been this little Porter cable. It's a little heavy. In my view, of the plunge routers, the best that I've used is the DeWalt DW621, the 2-horse DeWalt. That is a wonderful router. But anyway, I think I paid $50 for this one, so this one's also a wonderful router. But what happened is the cord, okay, I had no idea what these things were called. Cord ends or cord anchors or whatever, but apparently Amazon calls them rubber wire boots. I would have not guessed. But anyway, my wife managed to find a 10-pack, and I think the difference in this 10-pack is that it's for different diameter cords. So one of the last things to do with this router is to fix this cord end. Now, I fixed it with tape, but it's just not good. And these things tend to get quite brittle over time. I would estimate this router is probably a good 20, 25 years old, probably 25, closer. I still remember how much I paid for it and who I bought it from. And yeah, I don't know some of my students' names, but I never forget a tool. Okay, that doesn't sound good, but anyway. So you can see this thing's broken apart, and it's just, this is the part that goes in the router and anchors the cord. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that today. And in order to do that, I need to pull the top part of the router apart. So I'm going to move you in a little bit closer, and then we're going to do that. Okay, and we're in close. I did a little bit of disassembly off camera so that you didn't have to watch me struggle with various fasteners and things like that. I don't think it's necessary that you see absolutely all of it. What I did is I actually, off camera, put one of these, what are they called again? Wire boots in here, and it seems to fit nicely. So I'm going to just take this all apart here. I'll show you one thing here when I get this apart. And these are Torx screws, and I'm not even sure, T20 Torx. There we go. See, I don't know if you can see that. I'll give you a little bit better view. This goes in there like that. I'm almost wondering if I should maybe cut another one of these little flanges off and tuck it in behind there. These aren't really designed for this router, but they're going to work, and I suspect, I don't think you can get Porter cable parts anymore, I'm not sure. But, so I think I'm going to disconnect the ground here and take the cord off. Oops, wrong screwdriver. Oh my goodness, and I don't even have, there it is. I knew I had the right screwdriver here. But this is something, if you can find the parts, it's not hard to do. And I think it helps your router perform more like a new one. But anyway, now I'm going to slide all this stuff off, the broken one. Yeah, they're just really, really, like the new one's really soft and pliable. The old ones definitely not. They're all hard and crumbly. And okay, now let's see if I got the right one here. Right size cord. Oh yes, I think that fits on wonderfully. Yeah, I think that's going to work. Okay, I think what I'm going to do though is I'm going to take one, like I have 10, and I am actually going to sacrifice one of the ends here. Oops, you guys probably can't see that. Just going to cut the end off. These things are tougher than I thought they'd be. That's good. There we go. Now, maybe what should happen is this should be glued together, but I'm not going to do that. I think I'm just going to set it in here, and it's basically going to be a spacer. There, I think that's going to work really well. Let's just test fit it here. Yeah, I'd say that's just about perfect. So we're going to go with that. And that one doesn't come out. I'm not sure why. Okay. So anyway, okay. So I'm going to turn off a little bit while I get the next segment here ready to go. Okay. Okay, this should work out fine. All right. Um, I didn't have any of the connectors that are stock with this thing, like this guy here. I don't have anything like that. So I thought, at first I thought I would take an ordinary connector from a set that I had and cut it in half and monkey around with it. But it's big and bulky, and I finally just decided that what I'm going to do is I twisted these together and I'm going to solder them together, and then I'm going to pull the heat shrink over, and that's going to be good enough. So I hope my soldering iron is good and warm here now. Well, we're making some smoke anyway. It's slowly getting there. That should do. I kind of like soldering wire together for connections like this because I'm fairly confident it won't come apart. But if you have to do any other work on this machine, it does make it more difficult to get the cord off. So I think that is done. Yeah, that's not too hot anymore. This cord is too, we'll see if I can set it someplace without lighting my shop on fire there. That should do it. Okay, and then hopefully I did this so that I can slide this over. I knew it would be tight, but okay, it's just a little bit difficult to get on. There we go. That's what I wanted. I had to take, this is a pretty crazy cord here because there's really not a lot of wire in this switch, and it's just a little harder to work with than I would like, but okay, here we go. Come on, slide it on. Wonder if it would help maybe to have the switch loose. Let's try that. Yeah, see, there's not much cord there. Okay, I think that's on. All right. Now I need to find a heat source, and I'll fuse those, and we'll put it all back together. Well, we got the heat shrink tube shrunk, and where's the other one here? Here it is. This one's really short and under the switch. I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of bad. And I suspect I should have routed it underneath, but I think this is all going to work yet. One thing that I'm changing, um, there's this connected wire here that seems to want to hang close to the workings of the motor there. So I just taped a clip on, and when I put the cover back on, those are going to line up, and that's going to hold that wire from going into the internals of the motor, which I feel a little better about. And okay, so I've got all the connections made. The green is ground. And this goes red to white and then black to black. And the only thing I have left to do is to tighten the cord retainer here. And see how that works out with those two pieces in it. It's going to be so much better. Having electrical tape on things, I find, isn't the most confidence-inspiring things if I have students in here. So I want my equipment to be in good condition. That is so important. Yep, that seems to be holding it nicely. This cord was good. I didn't show you that, but the cord itself is quite good. I used to buy cords. Now, did they have ends? No, they didn't have these ends on them, but a complete cord at Home Depot, 3-meter cord, and they were cheap. Oh yeah, that's nice. Okay, I think we're on the home stretch now, so see if you can see that, and I'm going to put the 2 bolts in that hold this cover on, and one I'm going to line up here. Hopefully I can get that to stay in place. Let's see. Well, maybe that isn't going to work quite the way I had thought. That goes like, oh no, I'm off. Okay. Yeah, I was just not thinking to myself here, and okay, I just have to get this to lie where I want it to. That's going to be a little bit of a challenge. In fact, maybe I'll just take, I was going to use a little piece of tape maybe just to hold it. Well, that isn't working. There we go. Okay, so let's try that again. Okay, that seems to be going in. That started. Let's see if I can get this side to start now. Move my hand out of the way so you can see. Oh yeah. Well, there we go. I think we've got everything. All the parts are used up. So I think we're going to zoom out a little bit and we'll give it a go. Well, the moment of truth has arrived. Did I do this right, or am I going to get a shock on television here? So let's give it a shot. It works perfectly. Okay, and this just looks a lot better than that red tape that I had sticking out there. It looks like it's supposed to. Now, it isn't quite exactly the same as the quarter cable part would have been, but considering, I don't know if I paid, I think they're 10 in here, maybe $1 a piece, I'm not sure. They're not expensive, and this was an easy thing to do. So if you ever have that rubber wire boot, and remember that name when you're looking things up on Amazon, that helped. So if you're ever looking for a rubber wire boot, go to Amazon. They're relatively cheap. With a slight modification, mine work perfectly. This is going to be awesome. So with that in mind, I think that draws this video to a close. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you on the weekend edition. Take care now.